And welcome to Spoiler Kings. I didn't know what was going on, so I just jumped in anyway. It was funny. It was either me or you. I was like, I couldn't see his face. But I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Tank Kramer, and of course with Brandman Brandon with his shirt, his Shazam shirt with a full.
Do you like the Shazam shirt?
Filled in muscles. You see it? Hey, wait a minute. That's not fake. Those are real.
Yeah.
Cheater. Cheater.
I was about to be all humble and be like, "Oh, this is a padded suit. This is a padded suit."
It looks like
you tell Zachary Levi to work harder. Get on your level.
But
what is up, guys?
Yeah, it's been a good day.
Yeah, it's been a good day. It was a very productive Monday. Things went good in that regard. It wasn't as biting freezing down here in Chicago. Not as windy, at least on the way to work.
Bite your tongue. You better hold it. It's coming.
Wait a week.
It's like Thursday, Friday. It's gonna be like, oh, really?
So like over the weekend, and ever since the Indiana Jones trailer, I've been on a big Indiana Jones kick the last couple of days. So revisited the original quadrilogy, even revisited the Young Indiana Jones series.
Okay.
You know, I kind of I'm gonna be a little optimistic about this new one. You know,
Crystal Skull sucked.
Oh, that was horrible.
Crystal Skull, like it was like the first act, aside from like the nuking the fridge scene, the first act was decent enough. You know, it wasn't without its kind of here and there moments, emphasis on here and there. Mm-hmm. Definitely still the weakest of the four, obviously. But I can watch it.
The other three are good. They're almost classics. That one, it doesn't belong. It's like it's like when you're a kid, you're like, which one of these things don't belong here? Which one of these things are out of order? Like that's the one you want to pull out and throw as far as you can. It's like Rocky 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, who the hell thinks Rocky 5 is the best Rocky? Nobody.
Right? And somebody comes in chat. I like it. You sit down.
You're like, shut up.
Yeah.
You don't get
and it. I have another potentially controversial opinion about Temple of Doom.
Okay.
Willie Scott, not as bad a character as people make her out to be. Yes, she screamed and complained a lot, but she wasn't like a Marion Ravenwood or even an Elsa Schneider. She was very much she was an entertainer. She was a club girl.
She was annoying. She was annoying, and that was my biggest problem.
But you know, I got it. Yeah. I understood why. She was literally she was not about that life. She was snatched up into adventure. You know, she was a glam showgirl, so she wasn't about that life. So her screaming and complaining made sense to me. I didn't mind her as much as other people seem to.
It would be like watching the movie and you knew what movie you're in. It didn't say, Green Acres. Like it said Indiana Jones. You're not gonna be in Indiana. You're gonna be somewhere in some temple. Some doom is going to happen. Understand where you at. It's just what it is to me.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, I revisited it, and we don't get enough adventure movies, so you really can't top Indiana Jones, obviously, when it comes to adventure. So I'm gonna even though I was saying it kind of feels weird without Steven Spielberg, but James Mangold's a good enough director. So
Steven Spielberg is producing it. It's still executive producer.
It's still his production.
Yeah. So I'll maintain an open mind about it. The trailer sold me enough. So yeah.
I mean, for me, the worst thing was the CGI. Which, I mean, we still got 6 months before that comes out. They can definitely touch up things. That's not out of the ordinary for a big company to do. But do you guys hear about all the hate that it's getting? So obviously,
come on,
there's
what doesn't get hate at this
point? I know exactly.
Hate is very much hate is very much inevitable. I'm trying to. It's a little too toxic and a little too corrosive for me. So
yeah. Well, let me see what somebody said something. So, well, the big thing is like when the trailer dropped, people were like, oh, here's the MCU again, but in this is like we're replacing Indiana Jones with a female and blah blah blah. And I'm like, what trailer did they watch? Because
I didn't see any of that.
I didn't see any of that. Like none of it. like
maybe
none.
they know something we don't know. Because maybe I'm wrong.
Well,
maybe you know something I don't know about.
Here,
let
me bring something up.
That that I know I use this word a lot, but that incel rage just always trips me out. I don't know.
I know. I tried to listen to what everyone's saying. I try to listen to both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I know naturally I'm going to side with more people coming in, and you want more diversity, more inclusion. That's the side I'm naturally going to, lean on. But I also do recognize that you do still want, strong male characters too. So, but I haven't seen we're not getting rid of any characters. As long as you're adding on, I don't see where the argument with that is. But I will listen for it, because if we start getting rid of all the male characters and only have female characters, I will understand where they're coming from. Once again, I have 2 daughters. I don't really care as much, but I will at least understand where you're coming from. Like I told you, I had a problem with Wakanda Forever because I felt like all the black male men were gone. All the leaders were all gone, and there was only black women left to lead.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that, and I will say that makes sense to me, but I don't think it's wrong to have female characters. It was male dominated for so long. Of the 30 movies, 24 of them like all men.
But even I think across the board with just movies, because everyone like lost their minds with Rey from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which that never bothered me as much as it did other people, which I think it was like, oh, she just knew how to do this. I was like,
I'm like, so did
Luke. So did
Star
Luke.
Wars, guys. The answer is the Force.
Luke never left that planet. All of a sudden, he'd be blowing up the Death Star, and like a week later, it's like, come on.
Yeah, and on one hand, I kind of get it with Rey, because there was kind of like a progression with Luke, and he definitely tripped up along the way over the course of the first 3 movies, and Rey seemed to kind of pick it up, if memory serves me correctly, a lot quicker than he did. She was an expert with a lightsaber, was able to stand up to Kylo Ren pretty easily. I believe she, if memory serves correctly, she mastered the Force fairly quickly. But then I only watched each of the sequel trilogy like once each, and that was enough for me, because they just didn't do a whole lot for me. But
I've watched them multiple times, even the ones I hate. I've watched them multiple times. I thought what they did with the first one, 7, was okay. I had no problem with what they were doing. I liked the characters. I had no problem with Poe. I liked all of them. I thought they started off on the right foot.
And then I was even excited
about where they were going, because the problem is the 3 movies don't match at all.
Yeah,
7 is going one way.
And the fans.
And then exactly. Instead of going with their story, what they wanted to do, they started listening to everybody else. And then 8 went off into left field, and then 9 went back to right field. So it was like none of these made sense.
Yeah,
it really makes sense what was going on, and that was my biggest issue. But because I didn't mind where they're starting. I didn't mind Rey. I didn't mind any of them. Finn, I didn't mind. I didn't mind any of them. I thought these new characters were cool. It was fine. But I think stay with it.
Yeah, I think it was the conflicting visions between J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson. Abrams very much set something specific that he was going for, and unfortunately, Rian Johnson entered the picture and kind of unceremoniously did away with it.
And then got rid of Lucas. I mean, when George Lucas is no longer part of the project, it kind of, you could see how convoluted it got. And he tried to come back and fix it, but it was already too late.
Yeah,
well, that was part of the issue too. Is Disney promised like, oh yeah, we're gonna make your movies. We're gonna make your sequels. That was part of like him saying like, okay, like you guys are gonna like they were told like, oh, we're gonna respect your work and blah blah blah. We're gonna make your sequels, and he gave them like how the story was gonna go. And then they come out and then they did their own thing, completely changed it, you know, because they didn't want to focus on Luke. They wanted to focus on somebody new. Just it's fine, but do that in another story. Which it's fine if you want to do that. Do it in another spin-off or do something. Don't do it in main storyline.
I didn't mind that because I'm telling you, 7 was fine, but what they did with Luke, like if you're going when you bring Luke in at 8. You need to stay true to what Luke is and who he is. And they made him a little whiny bitch. Like I hate to say it, like that's what they made him into this little whiny punk. And that's not what that's not who he should have been by that age. You know, like he and Leia should have been better. I just thought they should have given him a better arc, and they really didn't. And I think that was disrespectful to the entire Star Wars lore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even Mark Hamill came out and said it, you know, and he said that he goes, "This is not Luke. Luke wouldn't do this." And I was like, "Yeah, Mark Hamill knows because he's worked with George Lucas. He's been Luke Skywalker for years. I mean, that's who he is, and he knows it, and he doesn't run away from it, which is why I like it. But when he knew that, I was kind of upset. But real quick, going back to this Indiana Jones, James Mangold. I forgot what what did he direct?
He directed Logan. He directed Ford versus Ferrari, which I love.
Oh yeah, I love it. That was so good. Yeah, so underrated.
Walk the Line. So he's got a solid track record.
Yeah.
So he's a suitable replacement, you know, for
Well, this is what he had said about the movie. About people were saying like Indy it's too woke because they're replacing Indy. He said one more time, no one is taking over or replacing Indy or donning his hat, nor is he being erased through some was it controversy?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I did read that rumor.
So he never was, is not going to cut the script, but trolls will troll and stuff like that. That's how they get their clicks. He goes, and please don't exhaust me pointing out how once in a while a troll is right, even a blind squirrel finds a nut now and then, which is awesome. All one has to do is look at the set photos and interviews, and you get enough info that make wild guesses about a movie plot. But yeah, he kind of goes on. He goes, the difference between trolling assholes and everyone else is they're trying to make money off of your feelings about other films and culture war politics. You know, they push controversial guesses as coming from sources to grind up clicks. Let it go. So
let it go.
It's you know, it just seems like, you know, toxicity just for the sake of being toxic. That's gotta, you know, that's gotta eat people alive.
Well, it's hard to listen to their point because people sometimes have points, but it's hard to even listen to your point when all you're doing is screaming and saying so many negative things and spewing so much hate. Sometimes
just for the sake of doing it.
Just for the sake of having hate. You need to, if you have an argument, say your argument. If just like I did with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I had an argument, I didn't like this way, but I can accept what they do. That's kind of, you should voice your opinion, but you should have an opinion and you don't just spew hate all the time. And that's why I have a problem with. Not that you have a different opinion than what I think. It's just that when you do it, don't spew hate.
Yeah. I just feel like they saw a woman in the trailer. They're like, look, she's replacing Indy.
Burn her.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Well, speaking of watching Wednesday, so
but
love it. Yeah, we're almost done.
I might watch it again. That before we talk about it, I might watch it again. Is that good?
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, there's ways you can. People are like, and I know who he's talking about, and I think a lot of people know what people he's talking about. Because there are some channels that do stuff like that, and that's all it is. Like, oh, look, it's a woman, so therefore she's gonna take charge. And You know, I don't know. It's like it's so stupid. I didn't see that trailer and it looked like, oh, they're replacing Indy. You know, I was
thinking
like,
the whole time, man, Indy's old as crap.
Exactly.
Like, didn't they try to replace Indy before? It just was a terrible movie. So I mean, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, there you go. They try to replace him with another guy, and that didn't work out. So it doesn't matter if it's a guy or a girl. A bad story is a bad story. Exactly. That's my thing. You know, it's like if it's a good story, if it's good storytelling, then it makes sense. My issue, and me and like my girlfriend always talk about it, about the Rise of Skywalker, not Rise of Skywalker, The Last Jedi. It was like, especially her being an English major, you know, and a librarian, like, you know, like she's like, you didn't lead us to where we needed to get. You told us like, here it is, and here's Z, but you didn't go through all the steps. You just kind of like granted, you don't need to guide somebody, you know, with grab their hand and like, oh, here, like Ryan Coogler did, like, here, this is when you need to be sad. This is when you're happy. This is when you're excited. But crumbs. No.
You know those 3 movies went ABC, 4, 2, 1. ABQ
XYZ.
Like, what? Yeah. What are you doing? Like, none of this stuff makes sense at all. Like, you're using like hieroglyphics in one movie, and then you're foreshadowing something, and then never go back and mention it ever again. Like, that's what happened in Star Wars. It didn't make any sense. Like, it was obvious that they didn't like this the way they were going. They just kept on changing it over and over again, and I just hated that.
That sucks. It sucks. Everything always turns into Star Wars.
Always. I mean, isn't that's life, guys? That's life. Star Wars.
Yeah.
What did you guys read that interview with Robert Downey Jr.?
No,
I haven't had a chance. Marvel not Studios? Yet. No.
All right, let me just read like 4 parts of it. I just want you just to listen to what I'm saying and tell me what you think. At first, they asked him, "What do you miss most about being in MCU?" He said, "What do I miss most? Being in the trenches with Kevin Feige throughout. The beginning with Jon Favreau. It's like a beautiful dream now. The middle with Shane Black on Iron Man 3. We had just had Exton and shot it mostly in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's idyllic and subversive. And the end, when I realized I made so many close friends in the MCU cast, and the Russo brothers helped me embrace Tony's arc." And then he asked him, another full circle story. I exchanged my previous obsession with an obsession for this role and landing it. And lest we forget, it was Favreau who was pushing me, but knew he would play politics or would have no leverage moving forward if I messed up.
Yeah, the history of that, because like Favreau really had to convince Marvel and Paramount to cast Downey, which was really interesting to me, you know, because at that point he was a big gamble, you know. But when I heard that he was cast, I remember it came completely out of left field, but I'm like, holy crap, this is actually quite perfect.
They cast Tony Stark as Tony Stark.
Stark. You know, he was that's exactly it. He was Tony Stark before he was even Tony Stark. Just no one ever realized it. And
let me see. You know, said, one more. I want to read two more things before we get into it. The iconic actor they brought up what his father said. A thought about him taking the role of Tony Stark. He said, then we proceeded to launch a historic run of what is now the cinematic universe with Favreau. And I essentially doing our version of a big budget senior movie with all the templates and genre film with our intention of making it as marketable as possible. So he just told him basically, you're now Mr. Big Budget. So, and basically comes back and asks him, would you think about coming back? He said it'll have to be a great story for me to come back, but I do miss a lot of parts of it.
Yeah, and you know what the biggest part is? That fucking paycheck. That paycheck. That's the biggest part he misses. And that was a big old paycheck, and Dr. Doolittle and Sherlock Holmes ain't giving that money.
Yeah, after 4 years, it's been 4 years since he last played. He's like, man, my paycheck is not the same. Those $150 million checks just don't come out all the time. Man, I need some more of those. And if you could just be a voice actor as an AI,
I can see that.
You know, especially now we introduced Riri Williams. We know we're gonna maybe have Armor Wars because that's something else I want to talk about. Because MCU is cutting back. They're going back now.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for the follow, dude.
Thanks for the follow.
Yeah, thanks for the follow.
Black criminal.
I mean, but it's interesting the way things are happening, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you. So stupid. I didn't catch the name in time. Thank you for the follow. I don't know what the heck is going on.
Like a real criminal is now following. Hey, I like all people, all criminals. Come on. Well, what do you think? But also, guys, what do you think about the MCU? Talked about having more quality, less quantity.
That's always good.
That's it.
You
got it. Good. You read that name wrong.
Sorry, it was like you are so stupid. OMG. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I looked away and I looked up and it was like I saw a so stupid dog and I didn't catch
it. Oh, that's funny.
Oh man.
But yeah, you're not that, dude. But yeah, you definitely want good movies, rather than just kind of cranking them out. Excuse me. What's that?
Nothing. Keep going.
Yeah. No, you definitely want good movies rather than them cranking them out just to kind of cash in on the name or make a quick buck. So, if the movies are more kind of sparing or kind of spread more out, I'll wait. I'd rather have a good movie than more movies.
And they're like the slate has been changed, and they're changing like a lot of things. Like the Disney Plus shows, they say they're going to go more to special features. So the more special features and less Disney six episode shows. I like the fact that they're doing that because I love the special features. It makes more sense because a lot of the shows that we're watching feel like messed up a little bit. Feel like it'll be better as a movie.
Yeah, and then definitely. A lot of the people are saying it was Chapek. Chapek's like people love the MCU. Throw everything at them,
Yeah, because even some of the even some of the shows really just kind of seemed, even some of the upcoming ones seem like they were just kind of making them just for the sake of making them like without having a story. I love Catherine Hahn, but an Agatha series, I'm like, I don't really need one. Or like Echo was cool. Do we really need a show? Is the show going to be good? We'll see. But it just kind of seemed like they were just Marvel was maybe getting a little too big for their britches and just going for any and everything, just for the sake of going for any and everything.
Yeah. So I mean, you can introduce like somebody like Echo would be cool as long as that show brings in like the bigger player, you know what I mean? Because Echo's not a big player, but if she can bring in Daredevil and like say Kingpin into the fold, where once it goes to their shows, they can just hit the ground and run, rather than like reintroduce. So she could be somewhere where you can put in a bunch of characters to introduce and then let them kind of like just go and run with it. But
that's kind of
I don't know.
That's kind of what I'm counting on. Maybe it's going to expand kind of which I'd be prospectively very excited about. Maybe it's kind of primed up to introduce more of the street level side of Marvel when it comes to New York, because now we have classic Spider-Man, and they're saying the next slew of movies are going to be like street level Spider-Man, which I think is dope, because I think Spider-Man is very much at his best when he's street level. So I'm really excited about that. Daredevil is, Born Again is going to take things back to street level. I'd have been fine with, rather than, like an Agatha, or some of the other things that they're doing. They're already reintroducing Daredevil. They're reintroducing Kingpin into the fold. Reintroduce Luke Cage. Reintroduce Jessica Jones. Maybe even like if it's done a lot better than the Netflix show was, you know, if you could get kind of better writing and more on point fight choreography, I'd be fine with them reintroducing Iron Fist the correct way.
Whoa. See,
the correct way.
You say Iron Fist.
Did you hear the correct way though? After that,
I heard you said, but it doesn't matter. Iron Fist. He lost me now.
I think they could do what they could do.
I think they could. You know, if they.
The problem is if you recast one, you have to recast all of them, and I think Michael Coulter is perfect as Luke Cage. I love Jessica Jones. Like I thought they did a good job with everything except for Iron Fist.
Yeah. I didn't
Iron
think
Fist was terrible. I was like, dude, I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I didn't think Finn Jones was the problem per se. It was the writing and the awful fight choreography around. Like he's a good enough actor, but
he does not Iron Fist. It's like having a Punisher and making him be 5'1" and 120 pounds. That's not the Punisher. It's just it's not Iron Fist. That's not what it is.
Yeah, you know, but like I don't know. Finn Jones to me wasn't the problem because like the one episode of Luke Cage he was on, that was a better appearance than any on his own show.
It was.
So
and he was better on the team up with the Defenders. I like him there.
Yeah.
You know, because I guess he was a side character too.
Yeah, so
he doesn't have to carry it. Once again, it's part of it, isn't it? Like that's part of the lore. If you can't carry a movie, you need to be a side character. You need to be something else. No matter what, when you saw Michael Coulter, you saw him and he was going to be a dominant character. When you see Daredevil come onto the screen, Daredevil is the dude. It don't matter what, it don't matter whose show is it. He's going to be the guy. I think that's why I enjoy those type of actors. Even Jessica Jones, as much as I didn't like season 3, season 1 and 2 was great. You know,
season 1 and 2 were great. Season 3 was just very rushed. I was very middle of the road of that.
It was rushed.
It was rushed because it didn't come out too long after the second season. Or am I wrong? Am I remember that?
Like they knew that it was going to go bad, so they try to hurry up and like release it. Like or they're canceling everything else. So they're like, let's get this out before everything happens.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was. I think like Daredevil just got pulled. Like other shows, other Marvel stuff was getting pulled, and there was like, all right, here it is, whatever, just throw it out there. I feel like just the production value wasn't great, the editing wasn't great, the story just seemed like really quick. But but I'm cool. But I don't think Michael Coulter is gonna come back. You know,
he's too big now. You have to pay him.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's pretty big. I like Jessica Jones show. I didn't care too much for the actress. I was cool with it, whatever. I think they can recast somebody a little bit better.
I liked Kristen Ritter.
I loved her as Jessica Jones.
Really?
I
thought she
fit. And her sarcastic and her look, I thought that was really fitting.
She
unassuming almost. She was very unassuming.
She nailed like the hot mess aspect of Jessica.
Exactly.
So I really I usually associated her with like a lot of comedy, like remember that sitcom that she was on, Don't Trust the Bitch in Apartment 23?
Yeah, but that's what she is.
So she's really good. And she was always like supporting roles, like in She's Out of My League. Like she's always like the best friend character, kind of like Judy Greer is. But
I have a question about this though.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that you needed Luke Cage in Jessica Jones to make it interesting, or was it just more interesting when they're together? Because I felt like Luke Cage, even when she was around, it was just a part of the story. It was fine, whatever, But when he was there in her story, I felt like it was more like it's just a better story. Like he was more necessary than she was. So like, even though I liked her as an actress, I thought that was great. I feel like she was not as strong as like Mike Coulter as when we had that.
I think that the characters complement each other very well because
definitely. We know that they are
Yeah, especially just going by their relationship in the comics, and they executed that very well. I really think he was a big reason that I was such a big fan of season 1 of Jessica Jones.
Exactly.
Like
his 3 episodes really meant something to her series.
Yeah.
She wasn't her that made me love Luke Cage, because Luke Cage was just bad from the beginning. The villains were bad as hell. The story made more sense. Like it just felt authentic, and he was necessary in her story. So I don't know.
Yeah, I on one hand, I'm happy that his appearance in season 1 was was kind of limited, because it left me kind of really anticipating his own show that came out the following year. But Kristen Ritter was strong enough, especially it really sold me on her as an actress. She carried a lot of on her own. She really carried season 1, especially for me, especially like the character kind of driven stuff between her and Kilgrave, I think was really, really great.
Yeah, I thought
that was David Tennant though. David Tennant is amazing. He's always amazing in everything. So Scrooge McDuck, amazing. Like
Scrooge
McDuck. He just
Doctor Who. The only like one of the few things about the Fright Night remake I actually liked.
Once again, like how strong of an actor he is like he brings something into it. It's Harry Potter.
Potter.
That's a huge, strong actor along with it. But I will say she played off of them very, very well.
Yeah.
Their relationships were believable, and it felt authentic. So I did enjoy seeing it.
Yeah. Yeah. My only real consistent problem, and it got worse as the show went on, was the character of Trish. I couldn't stand her over time.
That's no one can stand Trish.
Yeah. Wasn't she was supposed to become like a hero or something like that, like a masked
Hellcat.
Hellcat. There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't.
She was going towards it, and it just was waiting for her just to die. Like
could not. Much as I like Rachel Taylor, could not stand Trish.
Yeah, but I can see these characters getting introduced in Daredevil, because this is like they're saying this is a continuation, but not a direct continuation of the Netflix one. But it is like, I guess it's like they're saying down the road or something like that. So
it's 18 episodes. They can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So, but in that case, like, they already did their Defenders team up, so he knows about these characters, so he can easily bring in like the other, towards the end of the season or something like that. Bring in like, oh, here's Luke Cage, and here's Jessica Jones, and here's Iron Fist, and it could be new people, and I think I'd be cool with that if they're just 3 new people. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, it's Born Again is, hence the title. It kind of seems like a soft reboot, but
yeah,
I'd be fine with them soft rebooting everyone else with most of the same actors.
The only one I really want is Luke Cage back.
Yeah, Michael Turret. He is so.
He's not coming back.
You see Evil? If you guys ever get a chance, go watch Evil.
Yeah.
I should do some of the season stuff of Evil. Evil is tripped out.
Yeah, man.
I love watching it. It's just it's amazing. I can't wait for it to come back again.
Oh, we got wait, where? Oh, there we go. Some comments came in.
There we go.
Just kidding. Sorry about that. You want to hit it?
Yeah. When's the 600 subscriber giveaway show?
Oh, be cool if it's by the end of the month, huh?
That'd be nice, man.
I'll give you.
Nice.
Let's get to 1,000, guys. We'll do a
let's go.
giveaway. Let's get to 1,000.
Yeah. 1,000 is the next big one. Because then once we hit 1,000, man, how awesome that'd be. Because then we can do different things like we can redirect anybody watching our show. We can redirect it over. So if like Coat Lords are doing a live show or something like that, we can like, oh, here is our few
send all
people.
Of our people. Yeah, whatever we got, we'll send you all of them. And we become a community. We could all grow together. We're just trying to get to 1,000.
Definitely.
So but 1,000 is where it's at. But 600 would be cool. But definitely, because my goal for the channel was 500 and 100,000K. We hit the 500. We're halfway to 600 now, or not halfway. 552. But we just hit 91,000 or 91K views. So I was like, it's not too bad. And I think a little look into the future. I think the show we do Thursday might do pretty good.
I'm telling you, I know when Thursday's going to be amazing.
Yeah, live maybe not. I don't know, but definitely when we edit out the section, I think that's going to do really good.
The fact that we're doing, because Interview with a Vampire and Wednesday are now my two favorite things I've seen this year. It's the end of the year, and they're the two favorite things I've seen this entire year. And the fact that we're going to talk about both of them.
We definitely need that wouldn't be too bad.
What's up, Quizzy?
Hey, Quizzy.
Up.
Hey,
what's up? That should be something we do. We can actually because I said we want to do a little bit more scripted stuff. We should do like a scripted 15-minute show of our top movies and top TV shows of the year.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Each one do maybe like 3, then that gives you 9. So top 10-ish, something like that. That wouldn't be too bad.
Absolutely.
That wouldn't be too bad. So we'll talk about that later.
That's happening.
Yeah, but that might be. We might have to do that by the end of the year. Well, we could do that like the first week or so of January. I think it wouldn't be too bad.
That sounds. I wouldn't mind doing that before the year is over.
That's what I was thinking too, because I don't really think nothing else is really coming out. Pinocchio. It's coming out right at the end of the year. They're already saying Oscars. That's not even out yet. They're already saying Oscar. We got
Avatar coming out. So I mean, Avatar's going to take out so much of it, and after that, I think we have opportunity to talk about a lot of the ending of the year and what we thought was the best of the year, and put it out. Then I would love to do that.
Rolling Stone put out theirs, but about half of it, I don't think I've seen it. So, but yeah.
So I noticed how Avengers is making 2 more wars, like the Shang Dynasty and Secret Wars. So my theory is that Thanos might be returning in Secret Wars, and it might be the end for him.
Shang Dynasty.
King Dynasty.
Shang Dynasty. I like it.
What is the director? The director from Shang-Chi, is directing King Dynasty. That's just funny. But I can see them bringing back Thanos and not being the end. Like that's how he comes back into the fold, and now he's just another villain that they start doing. Can you imagine they bring back Killmonger and Thanos, like the 2 best villains? They're like, all right, we're gonna keep them, and we're just gonna mix them into everything now.
I think if they brought back Thanos, they would bring him back just as a plot, whatever tool, basically,
like plot device.
Just to show how strong Kang is, and Kang kills him immediately. I think that they will literally kill him immediately, just show like how strong Kang really is.
That would be cool. Like, oh man, I'm so excited to see more Jonathan Majors as Kang. Like, he's just gonna. Well, he already is. He already is crushing it.
Thank you there.
Oh, shit, sorry. Sorry, I think it's right on the top. And but there's a awesome panel. Let me make sure of Thanos killing King killing Thanos.
Exactly when I was going with. I'm sorry.
Yeah, where he's just like, and just like speeds up time and makes him like
age immediately.
Yeah,
and that's why in my mind that you bring him to show how badass Kang really is.
Yeah, like if they do this exactly. If they do this exactly, that would be.
You see Killmonger like, "Is this your king?" He's like, "Is this your villain?" And he kills him immediately and says, "This is what I am."
Yeah.
Everyone in the movie theater is gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Like Creed 4. Then at that point, Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan.
Oh my gosh!
Then Thor cut Thanos' head off. A Thanos.
Yeah, but remember we had a multiverse.
One of the Thanos
anything.
Yeah, he might just pull a Thanos out, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, you're afraid of him? Wham! There you go." That's what I think about him.
Dude, that would be so
can you imagine?
So amazing.
Can you imagine? Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Because then imagine like Thor is just shit in bricks, It was like, oh yeah, you cut off his head, you couldn't do this, you couldn't save your people, and he's like, touches him, like holds his shoulder and just,
do you think
turns into a skull? That'd be cool.
Come back? Does Chris Hemsworth come back as Thor?
Yeah, I think he must have finished the character. But he's freaked out with this disease thing.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. He thinks that he knows that he might have Alzheimer's coming back in his family, having all that. So he's had these health issues. Mm-hmm. Do you think that he's less worried about working out and being Thor, and not wanting to do that, might not finish the story?
I think he'll finish the story. I think he does love Thor. Yeah, he loves Thor.
Yeah, and he said he wants to kind of make Thor a little bit more of a serious character the next time out, which I'd be all for because Taika Waititi made the character a goober.
Yeah. The Russo brothers have done good by Thor.
I was very happy with Thor under the Russos. Like you said last week, I think that was Thor at his best, especially in Infinity War. Exactly. From the writing, because the character really kind of went through the hero's journey.
You realize how strong and how powerful Thor was.
Yeah, in
Infinity War. Think about it. When he came into the battle, he was kicking everybody's ass. Mm-hmm. Like he was just lightning. I'm killing everybody. I'm going this whole side right here. I got them. Don't worry about it. Like literally, Thor was so badass under the Russos, and that's the Thor I would love to see going forward.
Yeah,
if we can get that Thor into the MCU, and now we got Kang Dynasty and all. We can use that Thor as Thor Odinson, the real Thor that we really want to see. The one when he becomes, the All-Father, like he's that guy. That's what I really would love to see.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. I think, Destin Daniel Cretton, who did Shang-Chi, is doing Kang Dynasty, of course, and they have yet to announce who's doing Secret Wars. At this point, my money is really on Ryan Coogler.
Would you be mad if the Russo brothers came in and said, we'll only do it along with someone else because we don't want to have to hold the whole movie up, but maybe we'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely not. I'd be totally fine with that.
Yeah, because they said totally fine with that. Can't. They don't have the time to touch a Marvel movie for another 10 years.
Exactly.
So, which would suck, but I get it.
Only doing half.
Just helping out.
So, what if Shuri is in Secret Wars as Black Panther and she becomes an Avenger? That's just so far off of her story.
Yeah, I agree.
Forget the recasting. Forget the other angry things that I would say. It's just so far off of her story.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be Black Panther. She didn't want to be Black Panther in Wakanda Forever. She did it because I think more because she had to, and she wanted revenge. But
she's supposed to become a goddess.
She doesn't I don't see her wanting to be Black Panther.
Yeah, her arc is just a different way, and that's why I know why they brought Toussaint in. Even though Toussaint was always going to be there, he just wasn't going to be called Toussaint. That's probably why they brought him in, because you need to have Black Panther. And Shuri, I don't know if she's done it in MCU because that's something I don't know, but I do know that she has her own path to go. She's supposed to become something more. And I think keeping her as even a hero or an Avenger is kind of holding her down more than she should be held down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's why that's what people always say. No one likes Shuri because she's a woman. No, it has nothing to do with her being a girl or anything. That's not the story that she's supposed to follow.
She becomes her own hero. Like in the comics, she becomes her own hero, which is awesome. Go for it. Do it. Rather than filling in the shoes of somebody else. That especially unnecessarily if you want to get into the recast and stuff. But in the comics, she has her own story of how she becomes a hero, and she's kind of badass in the comic. She gets some cool powers. She gets some really cool powers
after she becomes back Black Panther for those four comics, those 4 ones. She becomes like this badass like goddess type thing with all type of powers, and that's a story I would want to see for her. As she matures and grows and becomes these crazy things. That would have been awesome. So also Thor knew Captain America was the chosen one, which was pretty cool on that part, on his part. But why wasn't it obvious from the start? It was kind of because you saw him moving. Matter of fact, I believe Steve Rogers knew he could pick up the hammer and didn't.
Yeah,
me too.
Yep, that's a really big theory too. That like he didn't want to make Thor feel
inadequate in any way.
Inadequate, yeah, exactly. So he's like, you know,
yeah, because which lines up with his character. He's the humble one.
Yeah.
He's
He's like, I don't need to prove it. I don't need to prove it.
It was hilarious when Thor's like, I knew it.
And that was cool to see on Thor's end, because that really kind of showed how much he had progressed as a character. He was as Odin said when we're first introduced to him, he's a vain, greedy, cruel boy, and then he becomes more humble and supportive of this, more or less kind of surrogate family. So when his buddy's able to, when his buddy's worthy, he's legitimately proud and happy. I really liked that. I thought that was cool.
I wish that we would got better character development from Thor, and I'm hoping that we still do. He's an amazing character. He really is.
Yeah, there's still time. I don't think YTD messed things up to the point that Thor's beyond repair.
No, it's just you don't want to feel like why are we getting a fifth Thor movie and no one else is even on 3? You kind of get tired of seeing the same character over and over again.
Yeah. Well, that's why like the Russo brothers had it the best, because like Lost and all the cool stuff he had. I don't know. I mean, the Russo also, like you're saying, Russo brothers did the Thor best. They probably did majority of the characters the best.
Everyone,
Captain America,
Tony
Stark, T'Challa.
Even when T'Challa's the first one who walks through the portals, and the feeling you got when he walked through the portal.
Yeah,
and you saw how it's like everyone followed him. Once again, he's not just king; he's also the warrior, and he's walking through with an entire country behind him. Dude,
even go back to Civil War. Like that's T'Challa, when like Okoye and Black Widow were gonna fight, and he's like, all right, but then he's like, all right, hey, we're busy, we'll do this later, But it was like he wasn't really gonna stop it if he didn't need to, if he wasn't in a rush. He was like, all right, let this play out, Like I feel like he was a badass in that one, But the Russo brothers did the characters, between Civil War and the 2 Avenger movies. He touched so many other characters in Civil War. Yeah, I mean that was Avengers 2.5 at that point.
It really was. I mean, Civil War is one of the better Avengers movies. Not necessarily just like Captain America, but Captain America needed that. Yeah, I feel like Winter Soldier is really great. The first Captain America is terrible. So
I rock with the first Captain America.
Yeah, you and only like 4 other people.
I thought it was fun. I love a good kind of retro style adventure movie. Hang on one second. I'm sorry.
I was like, we get to see your hand.
Okay. Yeah. I was just trying to charge it, but yeah, I love a good kind of like retro style adventure movie. I thought the first Avenger was fun, but the Winter Soldier just really escalated.
Yeah.
Great,
it went from like a mid movie to like one of the best. And then Civil War again, one of the best. It's like
Civil War. I love that one.
Yeah,
I love Civil War. Just the last 15 minutes pissed me off. But
even the last 15 minutes that was so bad was still pretty like epic. And
Tony was right to blow Bucky's arm off.
Tony was right to beat up Captain America if he could.
Yeah. But Cap, Steve,
you know who killed my parents?
Yeah, what? Steve takes his bromance with Bucky to psychotic levels, letting him get away with. He probably let Bucky get away with touching a kid.
Oh,
he'd probably be cool with it.
That's not sanctioned by Spoiler Kings. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, but yeah, like the Russos, yeah, they really brought a lot of stuff to the next level. When it came to the MC, there was a reason they were chosen to replace Joss Whedon after he jumped ship from Avengers, and I really
love the fact that they did that, and I love the Russos, and a standalone movie with the Russo brothers probably is going to set up an epic movie because they will do all the stuff that we needed to do to actually do.
Real quick, so do you know? Cause I was watching E-Man and he said something. It's a little silly for me, where he was like, "Oh, no one knew about the Russos until they did." What's up, House of Nerd? He's like, "Yeah, no one knew about the Russos." I was like, "Excuse me." They did Community. They did Community. The best years of Community, with Dan Harmon, season 1, 2, and 3. Like I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like they helped make Donald Glover and Childish Gambino. They helped, make him a thing. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
What a career trajectory, right? They started out doing Community and Yumi and Dupree, and then took on the Winter Soldier, which was a complete 180, complete change of pace.
The best out of all of it.
Yeah, the Winter Soldier. What was really cool about that is the fact that it was like, and they touted this leading up to the release, that it was a political thriller that happened to be a superhero movie too, which I thought was a really cool tone.
Isn't that also the same thing we got for in all the movies? Basically, you got a lot of politics because you had the Accord.
Yes. So
it's hard to avoid politics with Captain America. I mean, he's literally a soldier, and he has to choose what's right and wrong, and sometimes that's not what his
he's very much the hey House of Nerd. Thanks for joining.
I was watching your episode. Was it Sunday? So I'm sitting there doing our show, watching your stuff. I'm doing my sports stuff. And I was like, man, this is really good. I'm all into these indie comics. You got me going back to my comic book store, looking for some of the stuff. I already looked at. I like some of the stuff already. Like I have on my iPad a lot of small creator things, individual ones. I like Lore Olympus. I like a lot of little things like that. But like I like all these things, and watching your show really gives me a lot of information, gives me new things to look for. And I go to the comic book store and talking to these things, and then the owner's like, man, yeah, I love this too, and giving me more recommendations. So I gotta really give you a shout out. That was awesome, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, do exactly the same. So I was listening. I can't do two things at once. So, but I was listening to the replay of it today at work. Just had a headphone in and is listening. And yeah, man, like there's a bunch of stuff. There's an episode you dropped today. I didn't get a chance to listen to though yet.
Yeah, I lost it. But I know I'm going to tonight.
Honestly, House of Nerd, like you watching you guys talk about comics reminded me how much I loved comics. And I remember why I stopped. It was the New 52. And I was because I started, I'm like, and I'm going through everything, and I'm like, I had all these comics. I was on this, and the New 52 started, and then it started, and then they started canceling like 20, 30 freaking of the series, and I'm like, what? And then obviously it just crapped out. But that's what kind of stopped me from continuing, and then you just fall off the bandwagon. But now
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back in, so I'm back into all the other stuff, like Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man, like is because I saw it on you guys talking about it, House of Nerd. So,
now I'm on that. December 28th, man. I won't be sitting at 10 o'clock. So like, you got my where my comic, man? You open yet? You there?
Oh, man. Yeah. That'll be a funny skit.
Appreciate the hey, it's gonna be a skit. It's gonna be just me, just with a camera outside looking at me actually do it.
You have the comic book guy is like, don't let him in. He's here every Tuesday. Come on, man. He's Spider-Man.
So, but if you guys are watching, I'm telling you, man, that's something you should really look at. Go find House of Nerd. Please go subscribe. You won't be disappointed. I'm telling you, he got us into it, and we love these things already. So I mean, if you get a chance, I'm telling you, this is something you're gonna learn a lot. They have a really cool dynamic. I love Elle. It's the whole thing is great. So yeah. So thank you. Hey, we just say we love watching it. It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it is. For sure.
Like, yeah. Getting back into the main titles is one thing because that's always like fun. But getting into some of these like indie ones, because I was always afraid to get into indie ones because I was like, what if it sucks and blah, blah, blah. But like you kind of help pointing it out.
What's happening now is that I'm doing one and then like, oh, this is okay, and then I do another one, and then I'm like, why am I spending so much damn money on this damn comic?
You come back out like, oh, I got the backlog. I got all 30 issues.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jimmy, what's up, Jimmy?
What's going on, Jimmy?
Thanks for the share, man. Too, I saw you share.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah, and then once we get to 10, I'll give away a code. We're like 3 away, man.
We were at 7, then we got we went to
like
9,
8
again.
If we can hit 10 for a couple minutes, I'll give away a code. I'll give away something good.
A code of what, Tank?
A digital movie code.
Very nice.
I got something like that you can get.
The Batman?
Like that. I got one just for Brian.
I'm not saying that word. I don't know. Nope.
I think I got Nope 2 in there somewhere. Speaking of, I know where you're going. I made my girlfriend watch it. I don't think she appreciated it as much as I did. Because that SNL skit with Keenan and Kel.
Oh, that was great.
Oh, I grew up on Kenan Thomas. That. Keenan and Kel. Yeah, just I know me and Mark were in chat. Because just Nick in general. Yeah.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes. Are You Afraid of the Dark? All that. Keenan and Kel. What else was on there? Trying to think what else. But those were like the main ones. The main like live action ones.
Yeah.
And
you had like Ren and Stimpy, like
Doug.
Doug. Yeah. But I don't know if Doug was Snick though, because Snick was like that late night, Saturday night, Nick. But that skit. Oh, and seeing Keenan and Kel together,
dude, again, it was wasn't it magical? I literally thought I saw an aura around
my heart, man.
It was like
it warmed up my heart. Yeah, orange. It was orange aura.
It was orange soda. He was like, man. He said we're going to do the remake of Nope, and they're like, yeah, like, it was so cool watching that. They are so good together.
Yeah, and it's funny because like they're talking about like Jordan Peele or Jordan Peele and Key and Peele are because they started off in SNL, not Matt TV, and they had this like thing where they're like the nerdy guys and they did a lot of stuff and I think me and my girlfriend were watching Key and Peele on Netflix the other day. Like I forget how fucking hilarious it is. But then like you're like, oh wait, like Keenan and Kel were like the OGs, man. They did this in the 90s, for kids. And oh man, it just warmed my heart seeing him come in and then him grabbing the orange soda. Like
who loves orange soda?
It's like 25 years later, nothing changed. It was exactly, he didn't miss a beat. All he just had a beard. That was it.
Their connection was so cool. And you can see, it seems like even though Keenan knew that Kel was going to come on, when he saw him on screen, they were on screen together, the joy. They just really enjoyed being on camera again together. And that was awesome.
Yeah. If Keke Palmer is the reason we get Keenan and Kel back together, like I already love her forever. But she's like,
now you can be Rogue. Yeah. If you do this, you're Rogue.
You can be with it.
That's it.
But like the Keenan and Kelly was funny, and then her just doing the whole thing, like what was it? Like there goes the bus or whatever.
Oh no, there goes the bus. You're like, doesn't even make sense.
And then like just
the talking between it with Keenan, he was like, I don't understand what the hell she was doing.
Yeah, that was well then she's 9-piece. Now she's pregnant. And I find that funny that she was able to like because there's some people who like hide it or don't want to show off their belly, whatever. She just full out. She goes, and it's your baby, and she just showed her belly, and it was so funny. You know?
And then as soon as Kale came in, she's no, kid, it's actually his baby. So good.
Oh man, that's why I'm like, you know what, like I don't watch SNL that much like that anymore. It's just not funny. But that one had to be one of the best skits. He's Mighty Ducks.
I always like
to SNL. Dude, come on, man. The Knuckle Puck.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everyone no one played hockey until they watched that movie, and everyone thought they could do the stupid ass Knuckle Puck, which is not a thing.
You know how many times I've tried it? You know how many times I tried it? Like, this gotta work.
Yeah.
Like hit someone in the face. Oh,
yeah. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Kenan Thomas and Kel Mitchell, man. Now seeing them back together on screen, I'm like, I that's it, man. That was my childhood. I want it. Give me Yep.
Makes you want all that reboot, doesn't it?
They tried it. It didn't work out.
Yeah, they did try that. I forgot all about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if you don't have Kenan and Kel, you can't do it.
No, well, they did a whole new group, like a legit like reboot. I think Kenan was a producer on it, but it didn't hit.
I need him to be on camera with Kel.
Yeah, you needed those. All that was really nothing without like that core cast. Kenan, Kel, what was the other girl?
Amanda Bynes,
Lori Beth Denberg.
Yep, exactly.
You know,
all the ones that were on that what's that show with Nick Cannon?
All My Children? No. No. What was that show with Nick Cannon?
So here, I'll give you anybody watching. If you're a fan from like that era, you know, that early mid 90s.
It was Wild and
Out.
Katrina,
they had the whole cast
Johnson.
on Wild and Out.
What?
Oh yeah, that's right. So Katrina Johnson. You remember Katrina Johnson? She played the Ross Perot character.
Yeah, she was great.
Oh, she's pretty hot. So, but I followed her on Instagram, and she still says jokes, but they're a lot dirty now because she's like in her 30s.
Dude, I was all about, and I follow this one on Instagram too. I was all about Elisa Reyes on that show.
Yeah.
Like she's aged all of 5 seconds since that show.
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Like I was all about her when I was a kid.
Yeah. Her it was Angelique Bates and Katrina Johnson. They do stuff together a lot. The three of them, you know. So it's cool seeing like
you don't lose those things. Those type of relationships you have, especially at the age that they were.
Yeah,
and the support that you need when you're on TV at that young, you don't lose those relationships. Even with Kenan and Kel, they fell out and they came back because as soon as they come back together,
it's
just like it's magical again. You know, that's what it is.
Yeah, but I want Jordan Peele needs to make Yep with Kenan and Kel. Make it happen. I want to see it. It would be awesome. I don't know what it would be about, but have Keke Palmer in there.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Keke Palmer deserves just all the roles. She's a national treasure. She's great.
Yeah.
You know.
You know. Akila and the Bee. Akila and the Bee.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
But, all right. We should talk about Devotion now, huh?
I got a couple trailers. If you want to watch a few trailers before we get into the movie review.
Let's do it.
Sure.
I haven't seen any three of these. So before you go, there's Gen V, which is the spinoff for The Boys.
Oh,
I haven't seen that trailer yet. The Last of Us, the newest trailer that came out a couple of days ago.
That one, oh my goodness.
Yeah. And one that came out today called You People with Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill.
I
don't know. I've seen people reacting to it. I was like, oh God.
I'm almost ready to watch this one.
Yeah.
So let's watch You People first.
You want to do You People first?
Why not?
I have Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy. That seems like a very weird combo, but
yeah. But I'm all for it.
Yeah, especially new, weird, skinny, blonde Jonah Hill. I'm gonna say look for the. All right. Where we at? All right, let's do it. All right, welcome to Spoiler Kings. We are gonna watch a couple trailers tonight's live show. So if you're watching on replay, appreciate it. Thank you. Make sure you hit that sub button, hit that like button. And but we are watching You People featuring Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill. Gonna come out on Netflix. You guys just want to watch it and then
yeah, I want no information. I just want to watch it and see what the heck happens.
Yeah, I have no idea either. So let me know if it's a little laggy.
It is so nice to meet you guys.
A little laggy.
What's going on? Tell me about life. How are you? How's work?
It's good now. Hold on.
So you want to marry my daughter?
Yes, I do.
So do you hang out in the hood all the time, or do you just come up here for our food and women?
It's a valid question.
What?
It is.
What's the difference between me and you?
If Amir and I had a baby, it would be a very nice baby. Mixed race people are really awesome. You know, you have like Mariah and Derek Jeter, and then of course you have the GOAT.
The GOAT.
The greatest of all time.
Yeah, I know what it means, but who are you referring to?
Our guy, the legend, Malcolm X.
Whoa.
What's the difference between me and you?
And she's not pregnant because we don't even do that much stuff. She's not a prude. She knows her way around it, and that's that. And I respect it.
Dude, just shut up. Just stop talking.
A good husband.
Ain't this about a bitch?
Where's our waiter? I am starving.
What's the difference between me and you? You talk, but you don't do what you're supposed to do.
Oh, Kenya Barris actually directed it too. This is probably going to be a banger.
Hey, anything with Nia Long, you had me at Nia Long.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So she's like featuring Nia Long. I'm like, I'll watch it. It don't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No matter what it is.
Oh yeah. Nia Long is great in everything she's in, and she's just aging wonderful. Well, she's not aging. Yeah. I'm in.
I got this cast. So Jonah Hill, obviously, and then we got Eddie Murphy, and then Lauren London, which I believe is the daughter.
She's the daughter. I'm asking myself the same thing.
So obviously Nia Long and Eddie Murphy are her parents, and then it looks like from this description, Julia Louis-Dreyfus and David Duchovny are going to be Jonah Hill's.
That's going to be great.
That doesn't make any sense. Like he has good looking parents, and he came out looking like that. Like, oh my god! And somehow he pulled Lauren London. You know what? I take it all back. You pulled Lauren London. You deserve this. Good job.
Yep.
It's like it's.
I wish if I had more time right now, I'll give you the slow clap. That's you did.
Yeah. House and everything. Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, this looks like jokes. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be great. I think this is going to be hilarious.
It's going to be funny.
I cannot wait to watch this now. January 27th, it said?
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm in.
Netflix, you don't do a lot of good things, but recently you've been hitting some bangers. You knocked Wednesday out of the park, and I'm going to watch this definitely.
Yeah. So they're saying it's going to confront societal expectations and generational differences. So not only like, different like society and racial things, but also like generational things. So it's like they're just everything. So I mean, we already like race, sex, all in the trailer right there. So
we don't do that much stuff. I don't say she's a prude. I'm just saying we don't do that.
And that was enough to sell me on the movie. We need more trailers like that. Just give you a little taste of it. Didn't give away the entire movie. It showed just enough to pique my interest and be like, yeah, I'll watch this.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. They could have said Eddie Murphy and Nia Long, and I was gonna watch it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't even matter what it was gonna be. It could be like Pluto Nash 2. I'd be like, I guess I gotta watch Pluto Nash 2. I guess, huh?
Mm-hmm.
This is what it is. Do you realize how old Eddie Murphy is?
He's got to be in the 60s, right?
He's like 61.
Yeah.
Is
he's like 11 kids. He's like in his 60s. And look, I'm telling you, man, he looks good for what his age, man. He really does.
Are you really surprised?
Yeah, I mean, this is what we do, guys. This is what we do. Yeah, I said it.
I have said it on here. I think someone got mad about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say some people got mad. Like, then they got mad. Like, she's not 60, blah, or whatever the age was.
And we're
exact
age. So
she was, yeah. We were dead on. So whatever. But it's all jokes. It's all fun, man.
Yeah, it's all in good fun.
Yeah, this one's good, man. That was the first time I think all of us watched that. So
yeah.
I put it on my calendar. Like, all right, I went to watch that.
Yeah.
But then again, I watch everything, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I like it. It. Like you said, Netflix has been hitting some bangers, man. You know, when Glass Onion, when that comes out,
I can't wait for Glass Onion.
Yeah. So, Netflix, this would be awesome. But we'll let you guys know what we think about it when it releases. But let us know what you thought about the trailer. Is it funny? Is it a little too much for you? I can see some people being like, "Oh, it's too much," but I think it's gonna be funny. I think it's gonna be good. So Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill, man.
I just want to know what everyone thinks. How did Jonah Hill pull out Lauren London? How did he do that? He gotta be like a billionaire. Even then,
what if in the show like that kind of pops up? Like, she's too good looking for you. Yeah.
They will look at each other and then like we had one of the most beautiful people in the world as our daughter, and she brings that dude in.
Yeah.
He's not even a cute, adorable Jonah Hill. You're the skinny, blonde, annoying
looking guy. Like, yeah, what the
hell? That's gonna be good. But cool. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, so you know when we drop some more videos. But if you're watching live, stick around. We're gonna watch another one. All right. So we got another trailer. Oh crap! I just closed it. Well, I know what we're watching. So this came out 2 days ago. So we all love The Boys. I think we all really liked it. So finally we get a first look at Gen V, which is a high school or college, I think, of all superhero kind of kids, and they're kind of raising the new generation of soups. And obviously, hormones and superpowers. How's that going to work out? So
they worked out on The Boys. We all saw The House. Everyone knows what sausage I'm talking about.
Oh,
poor mother's milk.
Oh, there was so much of it.
All right, let's check this out, and then then we'll talk about it.
Welcome to Godolphin University. It's a safe space for you to thrive. You're not the police. You're not the president.
You had me at Clancy Brown.
Sesame Street? I don't know.
And it's evident.
So maybe you should let me be.
Where did you find that kind of courage? I'm superhuman, right? We're made of steel.
All right.
Yeah, worth a shot. Spin-offs and spin-offs, prequels, they're always a gamble. But, sometimes we have like our Fear the Walking Deads, which are just okay. And then other times we have House of the Dragon, which is incredible. So, it's enough for me to remain optimistic. And we all absolutely love The Boys all around the table here. it's nice to, the idea of them kind of building upon and expanding that world has a lot of potential.
Mhm.
So I'm good with it, and even saw a couple familiar faces. Did I see Todd there?
Yeah. Yep. Isn't Todd a teacher or something, or what? I forgot what he was.
I think he's a teacher or principal or something like that.
Right? I don't remember, but yeah, Todd.
Todd's a bitch. That's what he is.
What's it, Ashley, right?
Mhm.
Is that what her name is?
With a
Ashley's
wig.
in him.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the wig. And then who's the dude, the 7 guy, the speed guy. I mean, drawing a blank.
A-Train?
A-Train.
Yeah.
I think I saw A-Train in it too.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Mhm.
Yeah,
I must have missed
also,
it.
Okay. Anytime you see a Sesame Street character,
the deep puppet.
oh my god, that's the Deep. Oh
That's
my
the Deep.
Yeah,
god.
I'm pretty sure because
That is the That is the Deep. I didn't even recognize that at first.
Oh, it was so quick. It was so quick. I just
That's my complaint. So I thought it's a great idea. I'm going to like it regardless. But I feel like it was too much happening. There was a lot of information coming at me. It was going too fast. And I don't think I even really saw everything that I needed to see to really understand what this is going to be about. Even the cool things of like, oh, she did something with her, some blood or something, grabbed that person, grabbed a guy and pulled him down. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what's going on. And sometimes that's good, but sometimes when you have something as complex as The Boys, that could be a little bit much, and it could turn people off like, oh man, I have no idea what's going on. I won't get into the show and not have any idea what's going to go on. Yeah. So they got to be careful with that. I hope another trailer does come out, and then they kind of give you a more of a story of where the beginning is going to start.
Yeah. So even like going to House of Nerds show, he said underwhelming trailer, but we'll def check out because The Boys is top tier and from the same creators. Yeah, but the trailer, like Brian said, it was a lot thrown at you all at once. Like, I maybe they did it on purpose because it was like it's a first look kind of thing. So it was like, oh, here's a quick look at everything. But it's like, who's the main character? Like, what is it about?
What's going on?
Yeah. So,
but I will say this, but a lot of spinoffs, being in college does work. Being in college, because a lot of people, so many people go away to college, go away to school, and that's where you really find yourself. And now you're going to go away to school, find yourself with powers, and that's all the shenanigans happens in college. I think about my college, I can't even tell you about how stuff that happened. But
same.
Now imagine if you had powers.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this turns out really well. But they have a good concept. Can they deliver on it? It's hard to deliver twice.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get the Cosby Show in a different world, and both of them. It usually takes something for it to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and then got Derpy. What's up, Derpy?
Thanks for joining, man.
Me and Derpy ain't talking anymore because you're making fun of my Bears.
I
saw your pictures. I saw it.
Yeah. On Discord. There you go. They got a nice Discord bridge, or I don't know, connect. So make sure you go check out us on Discord. So we talk trash, sports, movies, all the Nerd Huddle stuff. So make sure you check out our Discord. Derpy's in there. All of us are in there. Then we got some of the other guys from Dynasty Pylon as well, and a bunch of fans in there too. So trying to make that a little bit bigger. So we're gonna do a couple watch parties for some of the sports stuff. So go check that out. But anything else with this one?
No, I'm interested, and I want to see what it is. But I hope we get another trailer. I hope we can react to it too. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, there'll be another trailer for sure. So we get
because we don't even have a date yet. So it just says 2023, which I obviously it's not coming out this, but I want a date, but I think we'll get more soon, hopefully within the next couple months. But cool. So let us know what you guys thought about it. Was it underwhelming? Did you like it? Was it a little too much? Did you have to pause it in every 2 seconds? But let us know. Leave a comment. Make sure you hit that sub button so you know when we react to more trailers and review some movies. But if you're watching live, stick around. We're gonna talk about something else. All right.
That was good.
Yeah, I know. We got Derpy in here, so you want to hang out because we're gonna talk about Last of Us in a second. But I gotta go pee real bad. I'm like, you're like, oh.
I mean, 1910 head to the fourth with Fields having four. You know what? Derpy. Why you gotta bring up nightmares, man? You know what?
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. Me and you gonna play football. Me and you gonna go play football. We're gonna do a kickoff. It's gonna be like the water boy. You're gonna run into a laundry list of problems.
All right. I'll be back in a second.
Oh man, Derp, you killing me. But yeah, it was a good game. But I'm not talking sports today. I'm focusing on all the fun things. I'm focusing on good things.
There you go.
Focusing on comic books and the things I enjoy in my life. Not the Bears, things that like, or the thing that kills me all the time. So that's what we're gonna do. So
good fun.
Have you pulled up got the Star Wars Visions thing yet?
I picked it up. I have not read it yet.
Mm-hmm. You should read it. It's pretty good. I enjoyed
that
one.
I know tomorrow's going to be a work from home day for me, so probably during my lunch break or something like that, I'm probably going to finally read it.
The one, so I read that one, but I am definitely going to read the Star Wars Yoda. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get to read this tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I've been dealing with. I read Spider-Man one, the Double Trouble one, with Miles Morales and Peter Parker. And now, of course, I caught up on Alien because Alien's like Alien and Predator are my two favorite comic runs right now. The one I go and check on the most. So.
Yeah, man, it's so nice to be able to start just catching up on everything again. Going back, getting over to Graham Crackers is now like my twice a week thing again.
We should do a segment on talking about what did you get from your comic book store this week, like our comic book segment. Like, what did we grab this week from our stores?
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I think that'll be great.
What's our three comic book pick of the week?
Week.
I'd definitely be down for that. Absolutely be down to do that.
I think we should do this because you know what? I've been going so much. I have so much stuff over here. I have to get like more places to put my comic books right now.
Yeah, I gotta get a new box for mine, like a second one.
I have four boxes full.
I just ordered 2 more. I just ordered 2 more. Well, because all my boxes are at my mom's house, and now that I'm starting to read again, and I'm like, well, let me just get some new boxes. So
I have like things on my desk. I have a file cabinet in both these drawers, and I have 4 boxes on the floor right next to me.
I don't know where I had like somebody gave me like a metal case, not a suitcase, like a metal case and everything. Oh shit. I plan putting sorry, I have my Grogu Bop It.
Oh, that's fine.
It's like Pedro Pascal's actual voice, like
quiet, loud, blasting.
Like it's awesome. It's awesome. And it's basically bop it. You like bop it, twist it, or pull his foot. It's awesome. Yeah. But sorry, I hit it by accident. So in that case, I have all of the Ultimate Spider-Man until Peter Parker dies. All 100 episodes issues, and then leading into Miles Morales' first like actual appearance, and like a mint condition Spider-Man Reign, which I love Spider-Man Reign.
I was huge into Ultimate Spider-Man. I loved Ultimate Spider-Man. I thought it was really so good.
I didn't like the Ultimate Universe, but Ultimate Spider-Man I dug.
I think Ultimate Spider-Man was my favorite. I did like Ultimate X-Men. I did like Ultimate X-Men.
I did not like Ultimate X-Men.
I didn't.
Ultimate Spider-Man was easily my my favorite. I thought the updates that they did, basically it was a nice kind of reinvention, reimagining, rebooting, whatever you want to call it. And it was a good segue to kind of to kind of bring new readers into the picture. It's what really made me like consistently. I'm sorry.
It makes perfect sense though, because I didn't like it because I felt like I had X-Men was perfect already. And I didn't want to see. I don't want you to give me variants or any of that stuff.
Yeah. It was a cool little reinvention to me. Like I said, Ultimate Spider-Man was my number one favorite. I thought there was so much about that I thought worked.
I love the Gwen Stacy and Gwen Stacy becoming Carnage kind of thing. Like that was
Carnage. Wasn't Carnage like genetically grown by Dr. Connors, if I remember correctly?
It was something like that. It was like a disease cure or something like gone wrong or something like that.
Because Carnage murdered Gwen.
Did it murder or become? It became Gwen.
Gwen
I don't remember. It's been a while since I read that series.
I remember in the panels when he murdered Gwen, like he kind of like Carnage like kind of took on her appearance. Like as he was killing her
over. Yeah.
Like he but yeah. I really liked Ultimate Spider-Man was cool. I really liked Ultimate Spider-Man.
And the way they killed Peter, that was
You gotta go to the game tomorrow. You guys jersey ready? He's going to the game, he got a jersey instead of a PS5. I respect you for doing that.
Yeah.
I'll probably be halfway home from the game about this time tomorrow, yeah. But I'm not going to bring this other thing up. And House of Nerd Show said, hey, do it up. Do it. I'm all for that. If we could do that like just once a week. What did you grab? What's in your comic book bag? What did you grab?
Yeah, like three things that you grabbed. I'm good with that. I like it.
So, I mean, I just thought that's pretty cool. I haven't read that yet. So, yeah, you look
at don't worry about that last one. But yeah.
Well, before we get into the last trailer, we should bring this up. The news: Kirstie Alley died from cancer, 71. Yeah, we definitely saw that.
Yeah, we definitely saw that.
Talked about that earlier, and it's it's always tough to see someone pass, especially someone who you've seen so many times. But just death is just so horrible, and cancer is the worst of it.
Yeah, the cancer. I didn't even know she had cancer.
No, she kept it to herself.
Yeah.
She was obviously huge back in the 80s and 90s. Cheers. Look Who's Talking. It Takes Two, which my sister absolutely loved watching. I would watch it with her very often. She was in another one with John Larroquette that I always liked called Madhouse.
You said that. I was like, I never watched that.
Yeah. She was great. Drop Dead Gorgeous. Hilarious dark comedy. Yeah. She was she was kind of she wasn't doing as much in more recent years. I think the last thing I really remembered her in was a couple episodes of Scream Queens that she was on.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But yeah, she was great. She ruled the 80s and most of the 90s in my opinion. She was absolutely great.
So yeah,
I mean, she was like the hottest thing back then.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, she was an absolute dime on Cheers.
Well, that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
She was 9 cents.
But yeah. I was really surprised to hear about that today.
Yeah,
that's terrible. At age 71.
It's never a good time. You're never ready to hear anything like that. So.
Mm-mm.
And I should bring up what he says. Hey, Endor is better than Mando. That's what you get. I'm not reading the rest. I'm not reading the rest of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No.
I'm scrubbing my hands on this one.
Off tank. I liked Andor. It just
I watched it all together at once over the weekend. Like I said, I was going to do it. Flowed a lot nicer.
Yeah, that's what I hear from everybody.
Yeah,
they're watching it now. They're like, I don't get why all the hate. I was like, you have to wait.
Here we go. Here we go. Really, House of Nerds.
Oh man, you know what? See, I can't even say better acting because Pedro Pascal that's Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, no, it's not. I'm
not even close. I don't know if I can say it's not even close. No, I can say it's close. That's a good argument between Andor and Mando.
I don't think it's that good of an argument.
I think it is. I think it is.
I don't think Andor is not that great.
I'm not really.
Andor is still such a slow burn, and you got no payoff.
I'm not really.
There is payoff. It wasn't.
It's not. I'm not payoff.
I'm not really comfortable. I'm not really comfortable comparing the two shows. You know, they're all very much their own separate animals.
Well, and that's the problem. Yeah. If you're Star Wars, you should be able to compare them, and you can't because one's actually interesting and has things happening, and the other one doesn't have anything happening.
But you know, I don't really want to compare anything Star Wars because the universe is so huge and vast that that I respect that everything's very much its own animal. I never want, you know. I don't want every Star Wars show to look and feel the same necessarily. So, like we've said many times on here, Andor was very much, you know, it was very much a slow burn, very different from The Mandalorian, and that was always obviously, you know, their goal. I don't really want to compare Star Wars shows. And I'm kind of happy that they're making them different.
Be the nice guy. You try to be the nice guy, not rock the boat. I'll tell you how it is. It was not. It was not. It was bad. It's not comparable to Mandalorian. Mandalorian was much better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, for me, it's because besides like it actually had like Jedi and Force stuff kind of going on with Grogu. I think like not want to say each episode. The satisfying like my thoughts or my what I thought was gonna happen like was achieved. You know, right off the bat, episode 1, I was like, oh, the end of Andor episode 1, I was like, okay, and then it kind of built up, but
no, there's only 3 good episodes of Andor.
Yeah,
some of the other ones, but.
Just come get me. Just come get me when the Ahsoka Tano show comes on.
Yeah,
that's all I want. You know.
Yes.
Rosario Dawson looked and sounded absolutely perfect as Ahsoka. I'm so pumped she's getting her own show. More Rosario Dawson is always great. You know, I'm really excited for that.
Because you might not get Andor season 2. That's how bad it was. Not bad, but just not. It's not the best Star Wars content. It isn't. Because the Tales of the Jedi was better.
Tales of the Jedi was incredible.
Was better.
Tales of the Other Jedi was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was
absolutely incredible. So good. Wanted it to be longer.
Yeah. I feel like I'm hating on Andor because you comparing it to good stuff. This is it's the LeBron debate. It's not even LeBron. It's like the Kobe debate. It's not LeBron yet. It's like the Kobe debate. Like, look, no, it's not as good. It's not. It's just stop. It's not as good. But it's not terrible. It's not the same. It's almost what Brandon's saying. It's almost like a totally different genre, even though it's in the same universe.
Yeah, that it is.
Yeah, and you know, I appreciate that type of approach to Star Wars, but like I said, it was just kind of easy to, like I said, a slow burn needs a payoff, and it needs that consistent progression. Like we've said, you know, it was going like this, and then it was going like that, and then you know, it kind of goes like that again, and then several steps backward, and you know, it's just, you know, it really had, the first watch, you know, especially with the one episode a week format, it really had to put in overtime in holding me, and it didn't. But when I went back and rewatched it all at once, it flowed a lot better.
We should do a Star Wars special presentation as Andor.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
that way.
Bad.
And that way, you kick out the ones that didn't make any sense, that you didn't need to be there for an entire episode. Cut it to 20 minutes, and we understand what's going on. That would make more sense. It will be a lot better, more enjoyable for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to bring up what Derpy said. Honestly, if you give me a similar show to Andor, but Old Republic series or movie, please, Disney, I'm begging you. That's what he said.
I'm going to tell you this, and I know you guys agree with him. I'm going to tell you this. They do that they're going to lose so many people.
But not only that, they can't do it. They can't do it because you could do it now because this time era is the least amount of Force users we've ever got throughout the Star Wars timeline or universe and stuff like that. You know, unless you go all the way back to the beginning of time or whatever they want to do.
By the way, thank you, Derpy. Thank you, Derpy. I'm with you on that. Thank you.
What's that? With this one?
What he said about the Old Republic. Yeah.
But I don't see them doing because you would have to use so much Force users that it would take away from what makes Andor special. Andor is special because it doesn't need the Force part of it to move the story along. You know what I mean? It's because of it's a whole fight. So I don't know if you could do a similar show to something like Andor in Old Republic. Because Old Republic is going to be a lot of Sith and a lot of Jedi, and they're doing a lot of shit, you know, and I don't know if you can pull that off with something like Andor. Because then you got to introduce a lot of different fight scenes that we didn't get in Andor. There's no fighting in Andor. You know, a couple gunshots.
Nothing going. Like literally, there's a heist.
You know, a guy got hit in a brick.
Yeah, you got one guy get hit with a brick. You got some beautiful stars, and you have the ending. That's pretty much it.
Mando is family friendly. I'll give you that for sure. You know, but also,
but at least stuff happens. You still get fights.
Dave Filoni, he takes what George Lucas said, and he goes, George Lucas said Star Wars is a family friendly thing. That's what Star Wars is. The good guys always win. Like it's you can show it to your kids, you know, adults can enjoy it. And like that's what George Lucas
he grows with you too, doesn't it not?
Yeah.
Like you're trying to make the adult tone. What you're gonna do, you're gonna have people fall asleep. And
I think you can do that with adult tone. You probably could, but I feel you'll lose a lot of stuff because then you make the bad guys too violent where the good guys can't win. You know, and then that's the problem because then now the good guys have to match that intensity, you know, and stuff like that. With like the Emperor, he was, I don't know, there's a whole other conversation, but it's just I did like the acting and everything. The story was okay.
The story,
but
was
I think this
should have been better.
It was okay. It should have been better. I thought it was okay.
Like they had a great idea, and you know what? I felt like I was good with the first build up to 3. And then I was going to the second build up to 6. And then you lost me. And that's when you lost me because you didn't get another build up to 9. Like you had to go to 10. And then 10 wasn't that, it was just like, oh, we finally got out. And then nothing. And then we had to wait all the way to 12.
See, I don't mind the different styles of content, but there needs to be something needs to connect it all together because it is a universe. You know what I mean? So
you can't call the Star Wars universe when nothing else it's not
if it's so different. It's so different, yeah. You know, and I'm afraid that's what the Acolyte might be because the Acolyte's going to be all Sith. It's going to be from their point of view. What's it? The Laura from Logan X-23 is going to be
X-23,
in it. Yeah. You know, so I think Brie Larson's going to be in it. So you know, she has her own following of people. But
I'll defend her to the bitter end. I'll defend Brie Larson to the bitter end.
I don't mind her. She's cool. I like her trash talking. You know,
I'll die on that mountain.
But I don't mind different styles. But I think for me, it's like you have to keep to what George Lucas created. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
That's my only
thing. My argument about it not being Star Wars, not even the Force. It just doesn't feel connected to any of the stories that we know about Star Wars. And I told you, it feels more like a Dune. It felt more like Dune. I always said that, you know. But I deal with it, whatever. You know, if you give me new content, I'll watch it and then see where it goes.
Yeah,
you know, but
I didn't hate it.
Give me something.
Yeah,
just give me something.
Yeah, and you know that's where I'm so torn on it. You know, I do like the idea of new Star Wars content feeling different, having its own different feel, and not necessarily connected to the Skywalkers or Vader, like the core that we're familiar with. That's fine because it's such a big universe. But you know, inversely, we have to keep. You know, there has to be that momentum to keep us hooked and to keep us invested. and that's where like I said many times, like we've said many times, that's where Andor didn't quite stick the landing, even though rewatching it all at once worked a lot better for me. But you still got to have that there's got to be progression in a story, and it's got to be enough to keep us invested,
exactly,
keep us interested.
It got me, but I'm like hanging on a thread at this point though. But sure, I did like it, but season 2 is gonna be
better, has some action.
Yeah, but I think if season 2 knocks it out of the park, then you can like kind of see like, okay, I can see what season 1 did to build up for season 2. But if season 2 doesn't knock it out of the park, then
who builds up for an entire season?
I mean, yeah.
So, but the post credit, please don't tell me that that show wasn't for adults after the post credit because it was dark as reality of
it sure was.
Yeah, that's fine. But it's not the story that I have a problem with. It's the no payoff.
Yeah,
it's just very little
which is
payoff.
Weird because like I get they were trying to do like a Rogue One type of thing. Rogue One still felt very Star Warsy thing, very Star Warsy.
Very Star
you know what I mean? And they were trying to go more in depth with that. And I don't know if they got too lost in the sauce of like making it dark and gritty and stuff like that.
There are characters that we don't care about. The characters that I know nothing about.
Yeah.
For a certain show that's all about development.
It should not have been called Andor. It should have been called like Rebels or Rebellion or I don't know, something else. You know what I mean? Because I honestly cared about that little red robot more than some of the other characters. You know, I was like, oh, he's all alone now. Like, yeah, I was sad about him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got it.
Go ahead.
Not connected to the rest of the universe tone-wise for sure, but Andor expanded and gave so much mythos, ground level day-to-day operations, and background on one early rebellion.
You know,
you're not wrong at all.
Yeah,
anything you're saying,
mm-hmm.
But once again, that's the show, you still have to have payoff more often than they're giving you, and you lose people because you'll go 3 episodes and then 4 episodes without giving a big payoff. You need to have something. Throw people a bone every once in a while, because I mean, if you want us to follow the story for 3 hours and not do anything, I mean, what movie would you go see that had nothing for 3 hours? Just asking.
I just had it on the tip of my tongue, like, and I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, but also, day-to-day operations can easily get boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's something that like it sounds cool on paper when you want to know the nitty-gritty. Sometimes if it's not gritty enough, like you're just kind of going to work. And no one wants to watch me go to work.
Me. You said no one's gonna come follow me to work and see day-to-day operations. This is what I do day-to-day.
Yeah,
not really interested.
You know, for the one opportunity, for the one chance of like, there's a fire in the kitchen. It's like
it expands the 616 universe because we're in the 616 universe, but it might not be interesting.
It's like a whole movie of Tony Stark just waking up and like on the computer for 4 hours in the morning, welding for another 4 hours.
It's like it's the in between stuff that you didn't get to see. No one wanted to see it. That's why we didn't see it.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think we're going to see rebellion incidents like the heist and the finale of episode 12, bigger violent action, since it is a more adult tone. If they did that for season 2, then it's good. But you have to do it. You can't pretend like you're going to do it and never deliver it.
Yeah. That's the nerd.
He's great. I love all the little details. I kick out that shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's that moment where they're in the camp. Was it episode 4, I believe? Mm-hmm. When they're at the camp and the one dude is telling Andor about like all this kind of stuff. And you're just, like, for me, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because it's like expanding on lore, but then that 2 minutes was good. And then the rest of the episode was
50 minutes boring. Of why are we doing this? Why are we still running?
Of everything like, well, you never did this. I'm new. You knew. Like they were all kind of pointing at each other, like, you know what you're doing. So
I agree with Derpy here. Hey, sorry for bringing it up. Time to move on. We just talked Andor for like half an hour.
We are Star Wars fans, man, all for sure. Speaking of, I know Planet Fanatics. Check them out. I know I saw Derpy in there. I know they want to do something like Star Wars kind of thing too, you know. And I told them we're in. You know, I'm like, send us whatever link, send us whatever Discord you're doing. Like,
tell me the time, the place, and I'll be there.
Yeah, I could do Star Wars all day. Granted, I haven't read a lot of the books in a long time. But I think once we get going, it'll trigger some memories.
Yeah.
But speaking of the Mando, let's watch Pedro Pascal's newest thing.
Pedro Pascal playing another babysitter.
He's got the green head. I think my record's like 56. This shit gets hard. Pedro Pascal talking really quick is not the best thing. Not the best thing to hear. All right, all right, Derby. Hold on, Derby. Let's watch the trailer and we'll get into that last question. Let me bring it up. All right. So this one I haven't watched yet, and I heard this was an epic trailer.
You want us to topic transition?
Yeah. Well, I was just saying I haven't watched this one yet.
Can't wait.
Yeah. All right. Welcome to Spoiler Kings. We are live. We are watching some trailers. So if you're watching a replay, appreciate you checking us out. Thank you. Make sure you hit that sub button. Make sure you hit that like button. But we are watching The Last of Us, the newest trailer, probably the last trailer before we get the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna pull away the microphone. I'm just gonna sit here and just watch.
There we go. All right, so let's watch it and then we'll talk about it.
No complaints on this end. I am in. It had me when it said it's from the creators of Chernobyl. They are perfect to take on The Last of Us. Pedro Pascal always brings it pretty much in everything he's in. Very much a fan of him as Joel. The girl playing Ellie looks great. Very, very much looks like they're respecting the video game, which you don't see very often in video game adaptations. And furthermore, I think a TV show is the best course of action. I think this is a great route for The Last of Us. Almost makes me want to replay the video game in preparation. but yeah. I think this looks incredible. I think they're really gonna. I think they're going to crush this. It looks great. I think it looks absolutely great.
So real quick, so Derpy said he's excited for this. Looks awesome, but the budget is insane from what I heard, bigger than the Game of Thrones, and the trailer obviously delivers for sure. And then Neil Druckmann said we'll see things in the show that was supposed to be in the first game. Okay, yeah.
Hopefully,
which makes sense. It makes sense. Expand on it.
Yeah, hopefully this is the beginning of them kind of doing a little more right by video games when it comes to shows and movies and that sort of thing. It shouldn't be this difficult. You know, you already have the story there. All you got to do is translate it over. You know, so
especially a video game that has such a great story already.
Such a great story. The games are very cinematic. They are essentially movies. In video game form, kind of like the Uncharted games, you know. That's exactly. You know,
I always feel like The Last of Us, and Uncharted. You're playing a movie. It's almost
playing a movie.
You're choosing the direction, and you're playing a movie and watching what happens.
Exactly.
That's why I like about it, and I'm hoping that they give us that type of feel, and
for sure
give us good characters, and that is amazing. Yeah. The way it looks is unbelievable.
It looks really good.
Yeah, this looks great, and the trailers are really giving me, you know, it's like you know, I'm getting the same feel from the trailers, the same one that I did when I played through the games. So
yeah,
like I said, it really looks like the game come to life.
Yeah, so some of the scenes look really cool.
It's beautiful. I mean, that's what you love about going to the Northwest. Oh my god!
Yeah, this is the one I was looking for. Just like overgrown, you know, grass is growing there, so you could tell like it's been like this for a while. You know what I mean? Like it's really cool.
Yeah, you know, it really nailed like the desolate, bleak tone, that somber, bleak tone that was in the games.
You ever wonder why they don't like take some vials of blood before like they go on these journeys just in case the main character doesn't make it? Like let's just take like 10, 15 vials of blood, like we'll do over a 3-day period. Just in case, and we'll put this in like a black box that won't get destroyed, just in case.
Or whatever. Like here, you take 5 vials. You take 5 vials. Like separate. I don't know. That makes too much sense, man.
One of us will make it at least,
Yeah, but yeah, you got to think video game theory mindset. But yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. This is. Whatever issues or struggles HBO might have been having, or HBO, Warner Brothers, whatever the hell they want to call themselves now, or
right now, this is why, because they spent all the money.
This is gonna save it. This is gonna save it for sure. Like, whatever Warner Brothers Discovery, this is gonna be like so many people are gonna subscribe to this. Yeah, Troy Baker, who originally played, is gonna be part of David's gang. Yeah, I heard that.
Oh, cool.
I heard the girl who voices
Ellie.
Ellie is supposed to be in the show too somewhere.
Yeah.
But also Troy Baker's pretty cool. I like him. Put those last 3 comments. I did. Oh, I missed that one. Also, some things that you didn't notice. Ashley Johnson, who originally played Ellie. Yeah, there you go. Is Ellie's mother with the baby. There you go. Exactly. So yeah. Which I like, they're throwing that out there, like, oh, here's the people who you knew as the characters, at least voice wise, So, but I like Troy Baker. I know he was into some stupid crypto NFT shit earlier this year. He got called out for that, but I like Troy Baker. He's fun. I like voice actors though, and he's definitely one of the top tier ones.
Yeah, he's a great voice actor.
Yeah. So
let's see what we get and see how epic this really is.
Yeah. This is gonna be a journey.
Yeah, the trailer was definitely enough to sell me. Both trailers for that matter. So yeah,
even the teaser. When we got the teaser, that 30
that was a teaser.
Seconds. The first one we watched. Yeah.
Like, this is a trailer. This was good.
Yeah,
and tell so much more about the story.
Yeah. We usually don't watch multiple trailers of the same movie like this, but this one, for obvious reasons, we're definitely in it. I'll send images to show where. Okay. Show it in Discord. So what Derpy's talking about, where he's gonna, he's talking about our Discord. So make sure you go in the link in the description. Check out our Discord. We're there talking nerdy stuff. We're talking sports stuff. We're talking trash to each other, sports memes, movie memes, thoughts, ideas, reviews, spoilers, all that good stuff. So make sure you go check out the Nerd Huddle Discord and join in, hang out with us. And then we're gonna probably do hopefully a couple more watch parties for sure. Football and sports stuff, and we'll do a couple more like movie TV stuff as well. So, but cool, man. Anything else, guys, before we move on?
Nope, we need to keep going because it's getting late.
Yep, exactly. But thank you guys for watching replay. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, like I said, so you know when we post some new videos. And if you're watching live, stick around. All right. So with devotion, we got to try to keep it short.
Yeah, this got to be a 20.
We get good. So I would just do one or two good bad things, one or two good things, and I'm so fucking tired, man. I think I went I went to bed like at 2, woke up at 4, and then again like fed the baby, and then woke up at 6, and then I was just cranky all day. And then shit and work was just busy. So I am tired.
It's like some work. What do you want me to do?
At one point, I'm like, I'm trying to get the f out of here, man.
And I'm probably gonna eat late dinner and then just hop in the bed.
Yeah. So we'll just do a quick synopsis, some good stuff, some bad stuff, and ratings, and then call it a night. Oh, and then we'll do a quick rating at the end once we finish it, so I can make a short out of it.
Okay.
So that's only 60 seconds. So less than 60 seconds.
Hey, don't go over.
Yeah. So let's just try to keep an eye on the time. So it's gonna be 2 hours. So once we get to about 2:15, we need to move on to ratings no matter what. So try to keep an eye when you're talking.
No problem.
All right. You got the synopsis, Brian? I see you typing.
Put it up right now.
Okay. Oh, Derpy said. My other question was actually, would any of you be interested in doing a watch party in Discord for game? Oh, that's right. The Game Awards are Thursday.
Might not be a bad idea.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We don't have
Thursday. We're doing this. Yeah, we're doing this Thursday, and we have a big show Thursday. That's a big one.
House of Nerd is going to be joining us. So
we're doing an interview with a vampire comparison, and we're doing Wednesday. Woo!
Yeah. All right. Hopefully, man, we hit 9. We haven't get to 10 yet, man. I just want to hit 10 viewers so I can give away a code.
I don't know, it hit 10 for a second, and then you like
it did. Not on YouTube.
Not on YouTube. It was including the other stuff. All right, I got it up. So let's
get it up. All right, cool. All right. All right. Thank you for what the fuck is that? Redo that. All right. Redo. Take 2. All right. Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is St. Kramer. I am with Brian and Brandon Brandman. How you guys doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah,
feeling inspired, guys. I'm feeling inspired.
Yeah, after watching this movie, that is definitely a good feeling. So we are gonna review Devotion. It came out a few weeks ago, so we finally got around to checking it out. But it is 100% worth a review and worth us talking about. So we're gonna talk about some good stuff. We're gonna talk about some bad stuff, and we're gonna get to our official ratings of the movie. But first, Brian's got a quick rundown of what the movie's about.
All right. The inspired true story of Jesse Brown, the first Black aviator in the U.S. Navy history, and his enduring friendship with a fellow fighter pilot, Tom Hudner, helping to turn the tide in the most brutal battle in the Korean War. Their heroic sacrifices ultimately make them the Navy's most celebrated wingmen. That's basically it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The story behind it is amazing too. So.
Yeah, it's real life events. I know you said you looked up, the actual history about it, which is cool. So it was from what the little bit of research you did it kind of sound about the movie right?
Yeah, they did okay. His story, Jesse Brown's story is a big long story that they didn't really dove into in the movie, but it's a big thing. He went through a lot of stuff, and the reason he was able to get to where he was because he didn't fight a lot of the stuff. But he had a lot of fight in him, and that in itself was an unbelievable story. But of course, anyone that is like the first to do anything, especially in times of Jim Crow South, and he's from Alabama, that's that type of racism is a great story. But we didn't really get a lot of information about that in the movie. But you kind of hint at it, and when you read about the background, you see a lot of stuff that he dealt with.
Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of hints at that, which is good because it's like, all right, cool, this part, but go and look into this, historical figure and find out about yourself, which is cool. I like when they kind of do stuff like that, like
I feel like they didn't want to bog that movie down with. We already know how racist the South was. We already know how much you had to endure, but we want to tell you about this story. So we didn't wanted to take away from this story by telling you how bad he already had it. Even though it's a story in itself, and you don't want to not say that's important because it is very important, but you want to make sure you get this story out.
Yeah. So we'll start off with some good stuff. Let Brandon, if you want to go with a few good things that you liked about this movie.
I'd say easily is the performance of Jonathan Majors. Furthermore, the way that the chemistry between him and Glenn Powell. I think the movie was very, very much, obviously it's a character-driven story. It's really anchored by the performances. I think that was the best thing about it. I think that was really where the movie shined. the piloting, you know, the aerial scenes were great too. You know, very you know, they weren't quite like Top Gun level, but at the same time, I'd put this like just a step below it. They came pretty close, and I really liked the costuming. It really gave you that kind of retro vibe. It felt very authentic in that case. But easily my favorite thing about this movie was the performance of Jonathan Majors. This was basically his show to run, and he was absolutely brilliant. It really made me excited for you know, we're going to see a lot of him in over the next year. So, you know, it's really only the beginning in that regard, and I'm all for it. You know, and it was nice to kind of see Glenn Powell kind of flex his acting chops, because he played such a good dick douchebag in Top Gun, and you know, here he is playing another aviator, complete 180 from that character. So
yeah,
that's those were probably my favorite things about it. The acting all around the table was great.
Yeah. What about you, Brian?
I'm married and I have a daughter, right? I have 2 daughters. So, of course, the thing, when you think devotion, you think about him being devoted to the Navy. And really, when I watched the movie, I more realized he's really devoted more to his wife than anything. And that connection always hits me, you know, right in the heart. Their love for each other, the fact that he would take his plane and go by his house every single time, no matter what. Hey, we're going on a detour. He's going to make sure he sees his wife and his daughter every single time he could. That hits me really, like that. I understood that, and I understood that him keeping his private life private, because especially because of the stuff that he was dealing with and the area that he was dealing with it in, you know, and him loving his wife that much, and that was just huge to me. And watching it and seeing, it was so against all the black tropes that I see in a lot of movies. That made it even more special that they showed this black love, this black family staying together, loving each other, being devoted to each other, and then seeing him being his own man, still having his own thing that he was with, and all the things he fought. That was great for me, especially because you know who I am and what I deal with. That's, of course, is the first thing that I'm gonna connect with.
Yeah. So that one, well, both of you guys, you know, with acting and the family dynamic with it, you know, but also like his connection with the rest of the crew. You know what I mean? Like, he was very detached. And so I'm like, oh, these guys are not going to like him. They're not going to accept him. For the most part, I think somebody said something stupid one time, and then somebody else, but I like that somebody else corrected him. You know, he said something stupid, and they're like, don't say this stuff, you know, don't be ignorant. And I was like, okay. And then to his I don't know, ranks, to his commander,
lieutenant or whatever,
you know, lieutenant, you know, and then all the other, you know, pilots, like, they all like saw him like, yeah, he's good. You know, no one was cheering for him to fail. You know what I mean? Like, that's what was like, I appreciate it. You know, it was like, no, like, he's here and he's good. He's one of us, and they accepted it. And I like that, you know, because like, you know, like, being part of the family, but he just kept like his distance for obvious reasons. I don't want to spoil that part of the reason
he's been through.
He tells you, he literally tells you why he does a lot of the things he does, you know, and but his connection with Tom, Glenn Powell,
yeah,
them two together were great, and I would love to see them in more things together, because I don't know what it was. Glenn, like you said, like Brandon said, Glenn Powell really his acting chops, you know, like when he was talking to the wife, you know, and that little thing, and oh man, that was so good, you know.
Even at the end of the movie, when he was talking to her, what's her name, Daisy. He's on the Daisy. Oh my gosh, I'm a crier. So when he said that he was talking to her, and she was like, "Oh, you did your job. You did what I asked you to do."
Yes.
I was like,
that really got me.
Yeah. And that's one thing too. Like, my last good thing, then we'll move on to the next thing, which I think all you guys is, it hit the emotions at the right times with the right emotions, and enough of it. And I just felt like you knew when to be like nervous and scared, and when to be angry, and when to be sad, and it really puts you in that mood, you know, when to be happy with his family and stuff like that, you know. And it was the emotions were great, and that was definitely the actors, you know. Jonathan Majors, the I don't know who played Daisy. I don't know her
Christina
name.
Jackson.
She was
Yes, was amazing.
She was great.
She was really, really good.
But the little bit she was in it knocked it out of the park, you know. And then Glenn Powell as well. But yeah, the emotions definitely were really, really good. Like, you connected with these characters very quick, and you rooted for each one of them. So so I like that. But that being said, what about some bad stuff? Some stuff that you might not like, Brandon? What you got?
It did kind of fall into, and you expect this kind of given the setting, but you know, the stock racist characters, the other pilots, they seemed kind of there just for, they were very paper thin, like, oh, you know, just kind of spouting some racist remarks and then being sent on their way. Like, if they were cut from the movie completely, I probably wouldn't have even noticed.
Yeah,
you know,
wouldn't have gave you a different feel, because the movie the movie didn't give us a lot of the racist stuff that he had to deal with. Putting them in there was almost try to give you understand when he had to deal with it on a daily basis, and how he didn't fight it, and understand how he is different than what someone else would do. He is very more, I'm going to turn the cheek, I'm going to write everything down in my book, I'm going to hear it, and I'm going to prove you wrong in every aspect of my life. But without them there, you wouldn't have gotten that. And I thought that was very powerful that he wrote all those things down. That
on one hand, I do get that. I think we had kind of gotten, like I said, I'm kind of walking that line. I do see why they were there, but at the same time, you know, we had already gotten enough of that with him talking to himself in the mirror and reciting what he was always hearing. We got enough of that with the neighbor who called the cops on them. They didn't drag the movie down per se, but at the same time, if they weren't there at all, or even if their screen time was kind of cut down on, it wouldn't have necessarily helped nor hurt the movie.
Okay. What about you, Brian? Some things you didn't like.
I'm probably the exact opposite of what he's saying. I would have wanted that flashback scene. I wanted a flashback scene of him being in the water and seeing what he went through. Understanding that really gets you to understand this character and why he is who he is, why he does the thing the way he does, and how much he cares about himself getting through this, and how much he loved to fly, and what he wanted to do, and how much he worked to do it, no matter what the obstacle was. Sometimes seeing the obstacle really makes you understand how important this journey was, and how important it was to get to this point. And I wouldn't minded 10 minutes, even if you got rid of those guys and we saw the 10 minutes of him dealing with it, and then putting ice in it, everyone fighting against him, until you start to see people turn and start to say, this guy wants it. They start rooting for him, and seeing that, but seeing what he dealt with. I would love to have seen that. I feel like it was almost missing a little bit in the story, because it seemed incomplete. I understand what they're focusing on, but the story for me felt incomplete because you didn't understand how he got to where he was.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of like an issue I had too. Was like, I wanted some maybe flashbacks, you know, because like you had it like him saying the stuff to the mirror where you're repeating it, like even doing a quick flashback of a person actually saying that to like a younger version of him or something like that. And you know, the diving scene, I think it was, you know, as soon as he said that, I thought of what is it?
Men of Honor.
Men of Honor with Cuba Gooding Jr. You know, first thing I thought about, you know, and so I don't know if that would have been good, because maybe that would have been a little too similar, but I don't know. I mean, maybe Men of Honor took that from the actual real life, you know, person, you know, I don't know now, you know, because now we know this was based on real life and this and that. But I did want some more flashbacks.
We didn't have to see all of it, but 90 seconds of while he's telling the story, you're seeing the hate that he had to deal with to get to this point. Because a lot of times in the movie, I kept on going back to seeing him just being standoffish, and you're like, that's just his personality. That is not just his personality; it's what he had to deal with to get to that point. No one wanted him to be aviator. No one. Why did he kept on, disobeying orders? It's because everyone tried to stop him from getting to where he got. And the only way he got there was by trusting in himself and fighting for what he wanted.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would have given me a little bit more.
Yeah. Because it went from like you said, like being like, oh, this is who he is, to like, oh, this is a learned trait. This is something he had to learn to deal with all the stuff so he can get to where he needed to get. But I definitely want to see that. The end, I thought, was a little abrupt. It was a high note. Man, you're on the edge of your seat, and then the movie just ends.
For sure.
I don't know if it was a better, but
why is he there and he didn't get a Purple Heart or anything? But then I guess that kind of tells you he was a forgotten hero in the most brutal battle in the Korean War.
Yeah.
And then not having those guys who are also teasing them and saying all those bad things about him, and having them be the Marines that he saved.
Yeah.
Kind of brings it full circle a little bit.
Yeah. So that's why like that ending, the way the movie, like all that stuff, that climax, and then there was no like cool down. It was just like it ended on the high note right there, and man, which could be
like you ran out of money. It was like ran out of money. All right, gotta go.
Yeah, but I get what they're getting. They want to leave you with that emotion, which I get. It's fine, but I mean, it's a little bit more at the end, but overall, it wasn't the worst thing. But that was one thing. I'm like, that was it. I'm like, I want more. Yeah. So
I get that.
Yeah. But that being said, let's move on to our official ratings of this one. Bring this up. So, as you guys know, if you've been watching, we rate things a little bit differently here. We do a now, later, or never. Now means you have to stop what you're doing, go check it out right now. Later means you can wait till it's on streaming. You can wait till you're doing the dishes, put it on in the background. And then never means skip it. It's not worth it. Brandon, what are you giving this one? What are you giving Devotion?
I could give this one a now. I think this was very much under my radar, no pun intended, until maybe about a month and a half ago when I first really started seeing it advertised. But this is a very well acted movie. I think there's a lot of aspects of it that are very well executed. I was definitely, it kept me invested. I really liked seeing Jonathan Majors just perform, especially like the scenes when he's in front of the mirror and reciting these things. He absolutely brought it, as did Glenn Powell. It's so easy, he played such a jerk of a character so well in Top Gun that you kind of instantly think, this is going to be his thing. He's going to play the douchey jerk. But he showed another side of himself, and that was really great to watch. By the way, Kevin Feige, in the slim chance that you are watching our video, if you don't cast him as Scott Summers,
yes.
I just want to talk. Christina Jackson, absolutely great. From a technical standpoint, there was a lot to be enjoyed too. The aviation scenes, the costuming. So there was a lot that I enjoyed. I could give this a now. It was a very important movie.
Yeah, good point. Brian,
I'm gonna give it a now. And there's other things that really got to me. So like when you are fighting to be the first or something, it's hard to be accepted in either world, So he is fighting to not be seen as just a black sailor who usually gets left in the kitchen to cook food. He's seen as something more, and you see that he doesn't have that connection with another black character until he's given that Rolex from the other ones, and they all pitched in to give him that Rolex, and that connection was huge to me. And I read back on the story, I saw that, and I was like, dude, that's what you want. You don't want to see people like crabs in a barrel trying to pull you down, but actually lifting you up and honoring you for what you've done. And you not even realize, because you're just fighting for what you want. But seeing that was just awesome. I think that's what you really gotta enjoy. This is a now movie. This is a movie that's anti a lot of stuff that we got now. So I can't wait.
Good point. Yeah, I'm giving this a now for sure. It's gonna make you cry. You know, at least get watery. You know, a little water-eyed at the end. But yeah, just seeing somebody like so standoffish for good reason, and then somebody and then the opposite person, they're like, let me in. I want to be part of your world. You know, and you know, and then you know, it's just like a great friendship. You know, it's like, I get like why you're like that. Let me help you so we can be a team, and you don't have to carry this on your shoulder.
Well,
there was that part of it.
The learning,
yeah.
You know, Tom had to learn that, you know, you can't just do the little things for me, because you saying that I didn't listen to you means I'll never become anything more than an ensign.
Yeah.
You
know, well, that also was like somebody who tried hard and earned it, and somebody who also earned it but went to school and had an easier road to get to where you know, and then them understanding each other and stuff like that. It was great. You know, even the little things. You know, the little French scene. You know, in there, just through there, it was like, okay, this guy's a badass. You know, and it's not because he fights pilots. You know, it's because he doesn't take crap. You know, from anybody. You know, no matter what language. So super cool movie. I really loved it. I knew I was gonna like it from the first trailer. I wish they promoted it more for sure.
Definitely.
But you know, like Brandon said, it's a very important movie. I think, you know, something that's true. You know, like it's real life. You know, and you know, if anything, it helps you go find other similar stories. You know, and stuff like that. So definitely giving it now. You know, very well done. Very well done. So with that being said, anything else, guys, before we close it up?
I'm just so glad that we're able to do this, guys. If you are watching this, let us know what you think, but please go out and support the movie. Go find the movie, watch it, enjoy it, be moved, because it will bring you it will move you. I'm not going to bring you to tears, but it will move you, and something that you should see, especially because it's so anti today.
Yep.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, definitely go check it out in theaters. IMAX, big screen. It's gonna look good. You're gonna feel good. But cool. That is it from us today from the Spoiler Kings. Hope you enjoyed our review of Devotion. We didn't really get into too many spoilers, so if you can go watch it and still enjoy the movie, I think after that. But we highly recommend it from all three of us. So you know, let us know in the comments if you went to go check it out, and if you did, let us know what you thought about it. You know, do you agree with us? Do you not agree with us? We love to chit chat with all you guys, and you know, every opinion is welcome here. So we'll talk it out. But also make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 1,000. We're trying to hit that 1,000 subscribers, and make sure you hit that like, you know, so we know that you like our content and want more of our reviews. But that is it from us, from Brandon, Brian, myself, Tank Kramer. Thank you. Appreciate all you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Thanks, guys.
Cool. Yes. you can close out the show. Unless you guys want to keep talking, it's up to you.
No, do you want to do the I don't know, you want to do the 60-second thing, but I know you got to go.
Yeah.
I want to eat dinner and go to sleep.
All right, quick. Just a quick 60-second. Oh, this don't even need to be up. I can just put it up later. All right, so Brandon, Brian, and then me. Just like one thing. Now, why, and now why. Yeah. So it needs to be 60 seconds. Ready? So, I'm gonna
do that 15.
Ready? Yeah.
We're still on Devotion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we're giving our ratings for Devotion. Brandon, what are you giving Devotion?
This is easily a now. The performances are really good. I think that it's a very important movie, just kind of given the content, the topic it's based on. But Jonathan Majors absolutely crushes it. Glenn Powell shows a completely different side of himself that we did not see in Top Gun Maverick. By the way, Kevin Feige, if you were watching this, in the slim chance that you were watching this, if you do not cast this man as Scott Summers, we need to talk. The aviation scenes are great. The costuming is great. Just everything about it, and it really makes you feel something. So yeah, I'll give it a no.
You just did all minute, the whole minute.
Yeah, he used the whole minute himself.
We had 20 seconds.
Oh, I thought it was a minute each. My bad.
No.
I want to go. I want to go again. I want to do that one more time.
All right, hold on. We'll do it at 25.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. All right. So we're giving our ratings for Devotion. Brandon, do you give it a now, later, or never?
Very much easily a now. I think this is a very important movie considering the content, very well acted, very well executed. Easy now.
Brian?
I give it a now. It's the relationships that I love. Man, wife, man, friend, understanding the journey that this guy had to go through. It's amazing to see. So I definitely give it a now.
Yeah. And I'm giving it a now. The emotion in it was great, between like everything you said, but just the emotion at the end of the movie, you were going to feel inspired. You're going to feel like you want to do something, good with your life, so definitely check it out. We appreciate you guys checking us out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and come check us out live. And we will see you guys later.
All right.
Awesome.
Right.
That worked out good. All right.
Bye.
All right, guys. I'll see you later.
I'll talk to you later.
Oh, damn, I'm trying to move them. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who kind of came in here and talked with us. Derpy, House of Nerds show. We had a couple other people coming in. James, Jimmy, Famous Quizzy. I appreciate it. Alyssa, I always love when Alyssa comes in.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Cult Lords. We appreciate all of you guys. You really make the show fun for us to do. Thank you for everyone tuning in, and we're going to give you more content as much as we can. I'm Brian. That's Brandon. We out, guys.
Peace out, fellas.